Hey, Dr. Justin Woolman here with Dr. Matt, co-owner of Niche Kings. We're here joining with today is Naota with TrackStat. So just thank you so much for everyone who's watching and listening today. We're just going to be interviewing him, asking some of the top questions to help you understand who he is, who he serves, what he does, and a little fun question about AI coming out because I know everyone has a lot of questions about AI. So Naota, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Well, few first things. Obviously, everyone is hot on the topic with AI. There's a lot of marketing groups, coaching groups, people who are aware that it is here to stay. But that being said, with the bottom line, how does it help my practice is probably what people are asking. So, can you talk to us a little bit today on what you see with AI, where it's going, where the problems, and what you can do to help?
Yeah, it honestly, it's like really, I'm actually genuinely excited about AI. I don't know if 2, 3 hours of my life goes by without using AI. It's exciting and scary at the same time because, like I'm pretty sure you guys have run into issues where it hallucinates and it gives you an answer that's totally wrong, right? So, like, you still have to know what good looks like. I'm not a software engineer, so like I could sit here and they'll call it vibe coding and code out some stuff, but like it's not that great compared to what our engineers will actually do. So, like with AI, I think if you guys are ignoring it, unless you're like 70 years old, it'd be like ignoring the internet in the 90s. It just, so you might as well get with it. EHRs, where they're focused on, is going to be with like documentation, compliance of documentation, and around billing, right? And so we know that's kind of like the focus with an EHR. For us, we're coming in as kind of like more an EHR partner. So we're focused on like kind of like AI voice, conversational text with like, AI with a texting conversation. I think a chatbot on your website is okay, but like I think most of the time, by the time they hit your website, they're ready to buy, right? If you're buying a laptop, a car, a computer where it's a commodity, yes, you're gonna hop from shop to shop. But like I don't think like someone's sitting around bored. It's like, I think I'm gonna go look at some doctors that do some neuropathy today, right? So,
Mhm.
and so like for us, it's just, yeah, like if we could handle like 70% of the conversations coming in, like, hey, I want to reschedule an appointment, I want to schedule an appointment, maybe some standard FAQs. The way we've built ours, it's pretty tight. Me personally, in my practice, I'd rather have the AI agent say, I don't have the answer to that. I'm going to route that to a human rather than saying, I think you should take Tylenol or you should see a neurologist for that, right? Because, like, you don't want to have, because the AI does some crazy shit sometimes. So,
Yeah. Well, and for a little bit of people who are looking in, they might not even know what TrackStat is. Do you want to give a little snapshot about what TrackStat is? Because it's not just an AI company by any means, but can you give a little background what TrackStat does, what it helps, and what are the big problems it solves?
yeah, like we started out solving a problem for ourselves, just like you guys had your own physical problems, right? Either with a family member or yourselves, and that's kind of how you guys developed it. And yeah, like we ate our own dog food. We had our own practice and we had a tracking problem. It was TrackStat because we were tracking stats, tracking employees, tracking patients. And like we had all these spreadsheets. And when we had people working through these spreadsheets and doing stats, our practice went up. And then it was a pain in the butt to do that by hand. So we ended up just making a software for ourselves. And then I had friends use it, then friends of friends use it. And I felt like when we were at like just over 20 something things, and I get someone calling me up that references of one of my friends, it's almost like I felt like I was a drug dealer. It's like, hey, Corey says he's got this thing. We didn't even have a name for it. We called it the tracker thingy in our practice. And we started out like that. And I was just joking with my wife. It's like, I feel like I'm like a drug dealer. Like, dealing like this like software program, and yeah, we knew it's something we wanted to do. And then yeah, like that was pre-COVID, and then all of a sudden when COVID happened, I had all these trips and everything canceled and I had all this free time, so we started working on it. And yeah, it started out as stats and patient tracking, and then quickly, like just like you guys have evolved your business, is like, okay, well, they want appointment reminders, they want online scheduling, they want a mobile app, they want a high level integration. They want a forms integration. They want this integration. So we just kept adding to it. And we came to the dance a little bit late compared to some of the other vendors. So we decided that we're going to go like really deep. right? We're not going to go wide, kind of like what you guys did, right? You said like,
Mhm.
okay, there's other people here already. They went like really wide. So you guys went really deep. And, that's what we decided to do is like, we're going to go really deep and do a kick-ass integration with the ones that we work with. So, and
Mhm.
then obviously, like as AI's gotten better, like we've been integrating a lot more AI into our product.
That's awesome. Dr. Matt, what questions do you have?
Yeah, Naota, I love it as far as like your target client, whether with chiropractors, kind of what's the biggest problems your guys' software solves for them, or what's the feedback you hear from your clients as far as what do you make easier for them in their practice?
So, like for us, like any client is good. Like at the beginning, when we first started this, I thought like high volume was going to be the best, right? And
Hmm.
they're good clients too. But like we have a number of solopreneurs, and honestly, I'd say our favorite is like the husband-wife practice, right? Profit focused. So, like the main thing we try to that we help people with is increasing office visits from better paying patients while reducing your operating costs. Profit's going to be that part in the middle. And yeah, we have solopreneurs, we have like some group practices. Like I think our biggest client has like 160 employees over like 18 locations or something like that. But we have a lot of like mom and pop practices. You got like one or two providers and you got a handful of staff. And like that's going to be the majority of our clientele. So it's like anyone that we have an integration with. We're not a coaching group, we're not a consulting group, but we do make it easy for you to increase your office visits from better paying patients.
Hmm. I love that. And obviously, Naota, there's a couple other folks that offer, there's some parallels, but obviously different. Like what's the standalone that makes you guys unique? Why do you feel your product's better quality and service? What do you feel sets you apart from the other vendors out there that offer something similar?
I think the biggest thing that sets us apart is like we actually practice, kind of like you guys are actively in practice. And
Hmm.
I feel like that is our advantage, right? I know exactly the pain they're going through, and we have a lot of people say you're reading our mind, how you're solving this problem that we weren't even thinking about, or we were just talking about this like a week ago. Like if we just built everything our engineers suggested, it would be just like everyone else. I'd say the biggest compliment we always get is it's like you guys actually practiced, right? So.
That's huge. One little fun fact too. Can you talk even? It's not just the tracking of the stats. Do you integrate with any Google, any reviews to help people in the marketing side? How do you? What are your other integrations?
Well, we do the reviews too, right? So, like, yeah, like if someone sees 100 visits a week, they'll get about 1 to 2 5-star reviews a week. Some people will get more, but like for typical family practice that sees people 2 to 3 times a week, right? Like if they have 100 visits, it's not like 100 people. So, like, obviously, the more individuals, the more reviews and customer service. So, like, but we'll have all the CRM-y type things, reminders, campaigns, automations. I think those are great, but like the premise that we focus on is we'll do AI and automation first, followed up by workflow. So I'm not naive enough to think that AI and automation is going to get everyone back in. And then the last piece is accountability. And if you don't hold your team accountable, like they're not going to do a good job.
That's huge. I think we're all aware, or at least there's some people that go, yeah, but it's AI. It's just, again, I think there's a lot of people that are going to have their head in the sand and they're going to be the ones probably saying, hey, how come something isn't working or going to be left in the dust? But you can only help who you can help. So
Yeah, it's honestly, I think a couple years from now, like you're gonna get like a lot of people getting recommendations from AI. Like, like I was just chatting with one of our sales guys on our team, and he wanted a new laptop, and it's like, okay, just go into Gemini. He was just asking me, he's like, let's just go ask Gemini. Here are the little specs and stuff like that. And it's like that's gonna be the norm. If you're not like running into Gemini and ChatGPT and asking how they would evaluate your practice online on the internet and stuff like that, like 2, 3 years from now, that's going to be the norm. And I think, what is it? They're 4 times more likely to buy if they get an AI recommendation. Now, obviously, with you guys, you're dealing with like an older demographic of patients, so it's going to be a little later than that. But, like I don't want to be caught with my pants down.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that makes sense. It's kind of funny. It's the exact same people that said they don't like it, but these words will always come out of their mouth. Hey, Alexa. Hey, Siri. They're
Yeah.
doing it already anyways.
Yeah.
So,
So
anyways, awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much. And then for those who are just kind of listening in, how do they find out more about you?
they
Would they
could
go?
go to trackstat.org, trackstat.org. You'll have the link in the email. And all they have to do is click watch a demo. They could watch a little video, schedule a call with me that seems like a right fit. We do a free trial, no pressure, no credit card. You could try it out. And if it looks like it's as good as you think it's going to be, keep it. And if it's not, then don't worry about it. And if you're not a tech savvy person, we will hold your hand and set it up for you.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again so much for joining us today and appreciate you. Thank you again.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you.